Hey everyone, it's Bella, the founder of the Embody Wellness Institute from Nebraska this time around, where I'm visiting my sister who just had a baby. So it really worked out well because this week I'm going to be talking about one of the 4 pillars that I promised to talk about of healthy living and enjoying your life. Remember, in pleasurable wellness, there's no dividing, healthy living and pleasure and purpose. They're all part of the same journey, this fulfilling journey that gives you vitality, energy. If you're really living from that place, you really get to enjoy all of those things in one. So today we're going to talk about nourishment. Not food, not diets, but nourishment. I really love the French word for it, nourriture, because it really reflects what food is about. And as I'm here visiting my sister, I'm reminded of what food is for us from my baby niece, because our relationship with food really starts from that tender age when the first thing we desire as we're born is that connection with the source that's going to give us food, the breast, right? So that attraction and that obsession with the breast is so, overwhelming, and that's the only thing we can think about when we're born. And in a way, this relationship with food is really determined by that drive for, and of course, when the baby is looking for that for the breast, it's not looking just for energy and calories, right? It's looking for the warmth, the connection with the mom, that interaction. It's looking for a safe place. It's also looking for healing, right? Because as the saliva goes onto the breast, the enzymes and sort of the bacteria that are on the saliva pass through the membranes of the breast, and it's kind of like a mobile pharmacy, because immediately your breast starts producing the right nutrients and the right antibiotics for your baby to be healthy. So it's really incredible, right? And that whole package that you get with food is exactly what we look for when we grow up. Nothing really changes. Subconsciously, we crave all of those things when we think of food. But we have reduced food down to, to like calories and, the macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. And in a way, that has really taken out the soul of the food. And why is it important to go back to a real way of nourishment is because when we only focus on its components, in a way, we're really not getting what we need. We're not getting what we need when we just search, the right calories, the right amount of vitamins and minerals. The second thing is that it's really, even for a nutritionist like myself, it's really not very helpful to know how many grams of protein you need and how many calories you need and, which vitamins and minerals. It's important, but on a day-to-day, if you're guiding yourself by, the measurements and things like that, you're going to get really confused. First of all, because it is complex, and second of all, because we're constantly discovering that it's not just eating the right vitamins. For example, you need coenzymes and, certain nutrients that we didn't even know about, like the microbiome in our stomach actually plays a huge role in our nourishment and our immune system. So if you don't have that, you might not be getting the right food. So it's much more complex than the current approach wants us to believe. The easiest and actually the most productive way to be healthy and enjoy vitality is going back to the approach that I call the whole foods approach, right? That you really focus on foods for what they are, and you reestablish that relationship with food so that it can really guide you to the very things that you need. Because the colors, the smells, the textures, all of those things play a really important role in guiding us, in really reconnecting us to that inner voice that we had so well developed when we were living, back in the days, and we had to pick the right foods at the right times and the right, nuts, and climb the tree and do all of those things. And that's all we had to guide us, is our sense of, our intuition or instinct, right? And that relationship is really important to establish. And in a way, aside from, I think from, the physical benefits in doing that, which I've seen, I follow that approach, and, most people I work with follow that approach, has done really important, help them shift their relationship with food completely and enjoy real results. But the other important thing that happens is that the relationship that you have with food is actually sort of the foundation for all the other relationships. If you think about it, we either think of food as something that we are really like afraid of, and there's the, that the off-limit foods, the diets, you can't have that cake, you can't have that. So it's like you really, you don't have that intimacy with food where you can trust it, right? So you have to keep it away from you. Or you are really like into that food and you can't control yourself. And in a way, that reflects the relationship you might have with men, for instance, right? So you don't want that kind of either controlling, like you're controlling, or you're like emotionally dependent on the guy. So you want to make sure that you have a healthy relationship with food. And in a way that translates into actually healthy relationships with partners as well. So you want to be in a relationship where you really appreciate the food and you really get the best of every bite. So every time you sit down to eat that food, you have that interaction that's much more meaningful than just, I ate 100 calories of carbohydrates, right? No, you really have that interaction with the food, and then really sort of allow yourself to experience pleasure with food. And that means you don't have any off-limit foods. If you're really craving that cake, have it, but have it in moderation and just really enjoy every bite of it. I promise, if you do that on a regular basis, then you will shift that mental block that, I can't have that food, so when I see it, I have to eat all of it. The relationship that you establish with food is really all in your mind. We have to shift that relationship and experience pleasure, enjoyment, and reconnection with real foods. I would love to work with you on this relationship because, as I said, I think it's not only helps you gain real health and physical benefits and vitality and energy, because food really is something that can make or break our health. And I can tell you about, my experience with that in the early 20s when I almost destroyed my health following stupid diets and, things like that. But aside from that, like I said, I think that relationship with food is the foundation of everything else in life. Your intimate relationships, your relationship with your body, your relationships with the external world, with Mother Earth. So when you have deep respect for the foods and you know how much power they have over your health, you have respect for the environment. You have deep reverence for what Mother Earth gives you. So it's a relationship that can transform the way that we're living our lives. Really, I really believe that. So I really hope that you will join me in one of my programs or working with me one-on-one to really reestablish this relationships, and look forward to seeing you next week to talk about movement, the real movement that awakens you and really energizes you and gets you to enjoy that road of pleasurable wellness. Thank you.